All right. How you doing, John? Let me know if you can hear me. I know there's been some sound issues lately. John says he is first. So just type a yes or just a yes, John. Just to make sure you can hear. So I don't know why StreamYard is being weird. All right. Thank you, John. All right, here we are, guys. This is we have finally made it to release date, Out of the Park 26. So this is not going to be a long stream. We'll do a more of a maybe a later deep dive or something like that. So John just downloaded Out of the Park 26. So I guess the best way to talk about this release, and Mike's ballparks aren't here yet, but if you do go to the workshop, there's some excellent ballparks up there, 19th century and some dead ballparks that somebody else did. In fact, let's give him some credit here. Let's go to Workshop Central. Make sure these are installed anyhow. So there's this A.S. Rivkin's ballpark collection. So these are subscribed. So I'm going to go ahead and install it while we're talking. Now, I don't think that this does. Hey, Philip Reynolds, welcome in. So I do not think that this does exactly what. In fact, none of these are like. It's not the Mike Silva collection. So you're not going to see like an automatic assignment of ballparks. But that's okay. That is okay. There's some other. These are parks that Mike didn't do. Really, really nice. So I've used these, and these will probably be these, and in addition to Mike Silva's ballparks when we get started with McGreevy again. We're gonna have a lot more stuff to choose from. But what about the Out of the Park 26 release? I think, and I recognize, by the way, that Legends is doing a game right now. There's only a couple people over there. He's doing a premiere, and I did promise that I would come on and we would talk about this game. So I'm playing this on the older PC instead of the newer one tonight, but that's okay. So we're just going to kind of go through a couple things. So when you have a game that's been around this long, hey, there's Aaron Reed, and there is Samuel Smith. He says, steer clear of Strat. I'm going to have Sam maybe talk a little bit about that. He had left me a little comment the other day about Stratomatic. Maybe with Sam's permission, I'll read that. So going into Out of the Park baseball, I think, a lot of people, we always expect real big updates. And I think one of the real big updates that people look for, big graphic enhancements. That all of a sudden overnight, this game is going to turn into MLB The Show. That's not going to happen. I don't see it ever happening. But that being said, I will say this. I've been loving this version. I've been beta testing it, ran into a couple issues, and, they're working on some things, mainly with ballparks, because now I can tell you about the new feature with ballparks. You can actually have it randomized ballparks, which is really cool. That was the one thing they weren't really talking about, and the other things we'll go over again. So what's neat is in a historical replay, when you randomize a ballpark, it will try to at least keep the field dimensions of an older ballpark, which is really cool. I think it's a great idea, but to be upfront and honest with you guys, as I wrote in the Out of the Park forums, I think it needs more time in the oven. I really do. For one thing, there wasn't any added content to like stand. So what I was looking for is I wanted some more chunks of different types of architecture to come up with some neat random ballparks. That's not going to be the case. But that being said, for those of you that want to just, have a handy dandy tool to, create some fictional ballparks for whatever reason, it's in there and it's nice. So it's nice to see the ballpark creation kit getting some attention this year. I think we can also thank Mike Silva and his excellent work for maybe one of the reasons why it hasn't gotten much of a priority in the past few years. Let's face it, guys, we all know it, that Mike's ballpark mod is absolutely masterpiece. It really, really, really is. But some cool things in this. So the first thing is we're going to go to new game. And what you're going to find here is, of course, there's Drive for the Pennant, right? And this looks like sort of last year, start a new challenge to play through the current season. Well, I loved this last year. This was new last year. However, there's a big jump forward now for Drive for the Pennant, but in the respect that you can play with any historical season, any season that's in the database here, Major League season for Out of the Park baseball. And how do you get to it? Well, you do new historical game. Okay, I am not going to mess around with the challenge mode. Okay, so here you go. There it is, Drive for the Pennant. So play Drive for the Pennant in a historical league. Drive through the season, jumping you into the action of specific moments after the season. You can select a mode to continue on with, which I think is really, really cool for two reasons. First, I think for people that are just getting into Out of the Park baseball, we all know that this game is 10 miles wide and 10 miles deep. It really, really is. There's no deeper baseball sim out there. I would say Action PC comes close. And, I think there's a few other games that come close to this as well. But, right now, this one is the king. So you can select Drive for the Pennant. So why is it nice? So for newbies, you're overwhelmed by all of the stuff that you can do in Out of the Park baseball. So in the Drive for the Pennant mode, and again, a lot of us in this community, we're really like, okay, yeah, 2025 baseball, whatever. We love baseball. A lot of us are going to follow the season. I'm one of them. I'm excited for opening day, which is next week. Very early opening day. These are the games, of course, being played overseas, but still, they're official games. So, but it is a great way to kind of get in on the shallow end a little bit. So you're going to get to do some GM stuff. There's a lot of stuff that you'll notice that is disabled. So you can't switch around teams. You're focused on one team. But what it does is it drops you into a game situation. It might be the seventh inning. It might be, like I had one the other night. So I was playing with the Pirates, and Neil Walker, right, was going 3 for 3. It was like, okay, can he go 4 for 4 or whatever? And he did. So which was really nice. Sometimes it will put you into difficult situations, like it's the bottom of the ninth, you're down a run, 2 runners on and 2 outs. Try to tie the game. Things like that. And Sean's joining us. There's D. Scott Howard. So what's new, Philip? Out of the Park Baseball 26. Someone's telling me to pre-order this the other night because I wanted to play Perfect Team, but just couldn't do it. So that one thing I'm not going to talk about in this video or anything is Perfect Team. I didn't even touch that. I don't know what Perfect Team is for this year. I messed around with a little bit last year. Just because there's so much to this side of the game, playing it, that I've watched Mike Silva and David Lando and a couple of the other guys play Pocket Pennant Run or play Pocket Pennant Run. Play Perfect Team, and it's cool. And you really, contrary to popular belief, you don't have to spend a dime to play it. You just got to log in, and it does bring back the kind of thrill of collecting baseball cards, but because the power of this game allows me to just not only create my dream team or randomly draft a team, which we'll talk about the draft too. That's improved this year pretty significantly, actually. To me, Perfect Team just isn't. I'm just not interested in it. It's great. It's fun, but I can't speak to that because I'm not doing anything with it. So, so 1,000 plus on Steam, playing Out of the Park 26 right now. And, that's so for a lot of games, that would be like, so if only 1,000 people were playing No Man's Sky, that's not so good. But you got to remember, guys, that we're in a very niche hobby, right? We are still geeks among gamers. Those of us who play sports sims, whether it's, I don't care, baseball, basketball, hockey, football, boxing. If you're Chris Slovic, badminton, let's do a badminton tournament. So that's pretty good. That's over 1,000 people playing this. That's not bad. And I mean, there are some people who are going to wait because they don't like the $49.90. Well, right now it's $44, I believe. Let's see what this is going for right now, because you do get a discount if you get it on Steam. So it's 10% off right now, $44.99 for the entirety of baseball history. So you guys know the spiel, right? You can play all major leagues, minor leagues, what have you. But let's get back to Drive for the Pennant. The other reason why I think it's good, so not only for new people getting into the game, but for more people that are experienced with Drive for the Pennant, or Drive for Out of the Park Baseball. Sorry, guys, just got in from work about 20 minutes ago. So it's a great way for you to have some fun, tinker around, and now especially with any historical season. So to go in, kind of make some decisions, do some on-field managing. When you couple it with Player Development Lab 2.0, which is another significant update to Out of the Park 26, it's pretty incredible what you can do with this game now. So what do we have? We have Drive for the Pennant mode, which is really fun. So the default mode, this is the one, this is like classic Out of the Park baseball. So meant for players who want historical accuracy with some flexibility. Players will be rated entirely based on their actual performance, but are not necessarily fixed to their historical teams. The replay mode, this is for seasoned replayers. And I think a lot of people miss this when they do stuff with Out of the Park baseball. So this is the strict replay mode. So this would be like playing action PC baseball. You're doing one season, right? Then for players who want historical accuracy, players will be rated entirely based on their actual performance and will follow trends relating to their career progression. Players will be assigned to their teams, and actual lineups and transactions will be used. Now, career mode, that's the one I usually like to play a lot. That's kind of my favorite mode. So aims to play through history from the starting year while letting things play out differently than they did in real life. Players will develop differently than they did in real life, will get hurt, and will sign with different teams. So that's kind of my favorite mode. Gives you kind of what if. Nothing wrong with the replay mode. It's good. Got to get your hands dirty a little bit, but it is good. And then the last one is the random debut mode, which I think is really fun because you don't know what you're going to get. You're getting real players. But here, and this is the ultimate fantasy mode. Rosters of players in the game will pull from history. Some players may only debut later in their careers. So if you set up a random debut league, you might get Babe Ruth in 1934, or you might get Babe Ruth in 1921. So it's fun. It's fun. I would say that this is of the 5 game modes that you have in Out of the Park 26. This is probably the one that for people that want to really go outside the box and write their own baseball narrative, and they don't mind. It's like, okay, geez, I've drafted Jimmy Fox near the end of his career, or at the beginning of his career, because Jimmy Fox was it took 2 years before he had his home run, and first home run, and of course finished his second to Babe Ruth all time when he retired. So anyhow, you got a lot of game modes going on. So we're going to look at Drive for the Pennant, and I'm going to pick a different season. I'm going to keep this to more recent seasons because Mike's Ballparks aren't in here yet. So I am going to pick a Pirates team. And we're going to go with the 2013 Pittsburgh Pirates. Okay. And we're going to import the complete history up to 2013. That's really important. I think because it does give you a sense of history, gives you a sense of placement in baseball. One of the things that Out of the Park baseball does that I haven't seen any other baseball game do is, let's say you're playing a 1952 replay. And if you go into milestones, baseball only exists it'll go up to 1951. It will show you in the coming season what sort of milestones, this player is going to hit this many home runs and how many, and it's based on historical data, of course. Or this player is 300 away from 2,000 hits or whatever. I like that. And it really, really, so it'd be like you're playing baseball back in 1952. So everything forward doesn't exist. I haven't seen any other game that does this. Any other game, even the games that come close, because most of the other games, if not all, are meant for single season replays, where this is a career type game. Pure Sim Baseball has career play too. but it doesn't do exactly what Out of the Park Baseball does. And cousin Ken Castro is in here. He says in chat, hope you guys are well. Out of the park, no interest here, but checking in and always checking in with the fam. And we always appreciate that. And I know this is not a game that you'll be interested in it for at least in the McGreevy League and playing that through. But you don't need this game to play McGreevy. So we got that. World's Worst, or Sean say, yeah. So you do, yeah, John likes the random debut. You can choose the year range, which is really fun. Aaron Reed says, speaking of Action PC, figured out how to switch back and forth between seasons using your keyboard. Good, Aaron. I'm really, really glad. So, yeah, you can choose that year range, but you're still going to get, you don't know who you're going to get in at what part of his career and stuff like that. So it's still fun. It's still really fun to do it. So that's cool. Glad to see somebody else liking it. Let me see. So Sean said, people putting up reviews on Steam about the game that you can't respond to are annoying, shouldn't be allowed. I wanted to ask the people something. Well, ask here. If I can answer, I will. The reason they've done that is a lot of people have gotten abusive at people writing reviews, and I get it. And so if you review a game, you can choose to allow comments, and I think a lot of reviewers don't. I mean, there's toxicity out there. I'm not saying that's you, Sean, but there are shitheads that just that ruin it for other people, unfortunately. So anyhow, let's do. Well, but people don't need to be insulted either, Sean. I've seen, and not just Out of the Park, I've seen people like getting raked over the coals for honest reviews, and nobody should have to take that. You're writing a review. If you don't like a guy's review, you can give it a thumbs down or whatever. So, but anyhow, let's go ahead and continue. We're not going to touch advanced mode or anything like that tonight. We're going to mess around with pretty much Drive for the Pennant, but using a historical season. Hopefully Mike Silva will get his Ballparks uniform mod up here soon. Nice new addition to the Ballparks this year. The way that the way that scoreboards work. So you'll see that was kind of a nice little surprise. I'll show you a little bit of the random ballpark generator. So here we go. And I'm just going to call this 2013 experiment because I'm not really going to, this is something I'm not going to stay with. I have a bunch of stuff from Out of the Park 25 that I do want to import, but not until Mike's Ballparks are available. So we're going to auto save daily, and I'm going to leave you up. There I am. So let's go to next step again. All right. They still have, of course, Major League Baseball and Major League Baseball Players Association and the Major League Baseball Players Association and Major League Baseball Minor League Association. Also, the return of some international leagues. And speaking of international, we'll be talking about another game mode in a few minutes, or another way to play the game, I should say. It'll be a first. So a lot of fun. For those of you that want some international baseball, the road to the World Baseball Classic is all new for 2026. So Ken telling Sean, he says, working through his WHA project should take about 4 years, he says. Well, that's all right. That's 4 good years. 4 good years. All right. So we will get thrown into a game here. Now, again, I will reiterate, I think that Drive for the Pennant is fun, whether you're a veteran of this game or a newbie. And for me, because I never play a lot with financials or GM stuff, it's still neat for me to get thrown into a game situation and think, okay, what do I got to do here? So it really does kind of test you, which is fun. So, let's just let this finish loading up again. Big databases. It's doing matching up logos and what it does. And I'm testing this tonight, or playing this one on the older PC. I'll be doing some games on my newer PC, or new PC, I should say, probably in the coming week once I can get the streaming stuff all worked out. Because right now I'm streaming to a secondary monitor from a gaming laptop, but now I'm going to have to buy another monitor, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to wait on that. All right, here we go. So, of course, we're going to be the Pittsburgh Pirates. All right, and boom. Okay, let everything go. Always love the little quotes and stuff like that. But anyhow, really, really, here we go. It's going to be geeking out every day, checking when Mike has all the ballparks loaded up and stuff like that. I mean, I'm assuming I could probably just copy them, but I don't know what's going on behind the scenes in terms of automatically assigning ballparks. So I could have tried that, but I haven't. So I have not tested this game with Mike's ballparks at all. Just using the ballparks that are included with the game. They are beautiful. There is a slight improvement in the graphics. The parks look, they pop a little bit more, which is nice. There's better use of shading. Field textures look better. I mean, these little things, I think they count. I also haven't seen any sort of wonky moonwalks to first or anything in my time during the beta testing period. And the other thing too is out of the park baseball. They patch this game a lot, and so any issues that might be going on, it's going to be patched. Now, while I was beta testing the game, I also, for full disclosure, I didn't receive any money, any compensation, anything like that. And there's being a beta tester doesn't mean you have to be a yes man. And so, as I've already pointed out about the ballpark generator, I do think it needs some time. So you're going to notice down here, look at this. This may seem insignificant, and I do see a little bit of kind of little hopping around, but that's just the fault of stuff I was doing before I came on. So using up some memory here. But look at this. You can, right here, just from this screen, from your team screen, look at this. So if I want to look at team schedule, right, I could look at my team schedule, and there we go. Pretty nice, right? And if I just click the back button, if you think of Out of the Park Baseball as kind of a browser, do that. Look, I want to look at my pitching. There we go. I can just look at my pitching. Just having these nice little icons here, I think, is really, really, really cool. There's the entire roster for the 2013 Pittsburgh Pirates. There's everybody. I have Face Gen turned off, so for those of you that like Face Gen, just remember to turn it on. We can look at transactions. Not any transactions yet, obviously, but what you can do, you can fill your team needs here. So maybe at a position you want to pick up a left field, or you want to pick up a utility man in the infield, you want to pick up some hitters, whatever. So you can do this. And pretty nice. So it says define specific needs you're looking for to try to fill. Other teams may send you trade offers to fill these needs. Select a search now on any of the needs to get immediate offers and feedback using your trading block and prospects. Okay. So that's pretty cool. So let's go to first base and let's search now. Okay. My search is quite broad. Yeah, let's do yes. And let's see what we get here. If anybody, what might be out there, if we wanted to make any sort of moves with the Buccos. Okay, concluded a search and found some potential options might be of interest. Okay, so there we go. And it's going to go down to the minor league level. So pretty cool. And some of these players will eventually be Pirates, like Tyler Glasnow will be a Pirate. So there's Josh Bell down there in Double-A. So might want to sign him so I can add and complete or whatever. So lots of stuff to do. As if this game wasn't deep enough, now you've got another whole set of real fun craziness here in Out of the Park Baseball. The other thing too is you don't have to use these buttons if you don't. This is really, really nice. So again, I showed you guys schedule before. I went to April, right? So, but if I just go back, a combination of these two, if I want to look at my lineups, there they are. Of course, everything is click and drag. If I don't think Marte should be batting fourth, and I don't think Starling Marte should be batting fourth, I can change that if I want. Okay. And then, of course, you have daily lineups, all that other stuff. You have a really nice graphical depth chart. And again, you can do a lot of just sort of changes and things there if you want. But you're more of a GM in this mode, which I know doesn't, including me, but hang in there with me, guys. All right, let's go back. And let's look at home, and let's look at our lineups again. And I'm just going to pick Pedro Alvarez. Okay, so here's Pedro. Now, what we can see here, if you'll notice, right here, you'll see like a bright yellow and then like a kind of more transparent color. So this gives you a nice sort of way when you go into the player development lab to gauge where your player's potential is if you want to work with him. So looking at Alvarez right now, let's go to development for him. So right now we're seeing that he has a bit more potential that we could work on for contact. Now, if I want to bring up that contact number, obviously you can't make a super player in this. You can see I'm clicking on these plus signs, can't do it. So for him to develop in a certain area, it makes sense where he's focusing. He's not going to be able to focus on everything at the same time. So maybe I can cut his power back a little bit. Okay. Right. Just bring it back a little bit. Maybe I can bring up there. His eye needs some improvement. So I can do this. Right. So you can see this red, this is going down, that red. And so I'm adding points. It's kind of like an RPG. Okay. Let me see. What else? Is there anything else if I want to change with Pedro? Let's see. So his BABIP is fine, but to avoid Ks, I want him to work more on avoid Ks. So I'm going to cut his power down a little bit, and I'm going to crank up avoid Ks. So now, granted, this is really, really, really kind of nitty gritty, you know, and if you're playing in a big league like this, which is the Myths League that I've been using in Out of the Park 25 and moved over to here, if you don't want to go through all that, here's what's really cool. You can ask the AI for a plan, but there's also plan presets. So you can choose utility, 3 true outcomes, small ball, Greek god of walks, an extra base hit machine, or a speedster. So maybe if I do extra base hit machine, look at that. So now it's gonna Pedro will go into the player development lab, and he's going to work on his BABIP to avoid strikeouts, hitting into the gap. He's going to be doing better, but because he's already a power hitter, do you see how it took away from power and eye? Okay. Now so if I wanted to bring his eye up, something's got to go back down. But it's really, really, really cool. Ask AI for a plan, but so we can reset everything to just neutral. Okay. But maybe I do want him to be an extra base hit machine. Why not? Okay. So you can do this with any players at all. If you go to strategy, again, you can manage at the player level. This is nothing new. This is a lot. If we're going to find this in Diamond Mine Baseball, Action PC Baseball, certainly this game and others. Okay. So there's that. We can look at ratings, deep ratings. I mean, so if you're playing in a type of league where you think you're going to be doing trades or whatever, you want to get down into the nitty gritty. This is really, 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 really expanded, and I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Go back, look at his profile, his BNN page. This is once we actually start, but again, you're seeing nice graphic representation. So blue is very, very good. Green is good. Yellow's fair. And then, orange and red. So I think cool colors better. And all the way down. I like that Out of the Park Baseball does this. We're not going to worry about baseball cards or anything like that. Okay. Let's go back to the Pirates home screen. And we'll get into a little game here in a minute, but I do want to show you a couple other things. Okay. So, is this the one I want to go to, or is it lineups? Hang on a second, guys. So organization. So again, you can set up your own sort of in these windows or whatever, where we can see all the complete minor league system. And this is accurate. So there's Indianapolis, Altoona, Bradenton, West Virginia, Jamestown, and the Gulf Coast League Pirates. You can see who is on waivers, who is designated for assignment, Rule 5 eligible players, trading block, and untouchable players. So all this works in all game modes, obviously. And again, you don't have to go this deep. We can just start playing. Okay. There's all the front office stuff. I don't mess with front office at all. Okay. So just a little bit of what's going on here. Let's go to a players list here, and we can see kind of here we are and what exactly we're looking at right now is we're looking at all the batters. Okay. We can filter our view by their batting potential, batting stats. I mean, there's just so much here to look at. It's pretty crazy. We can even edit views, and then we have all these to pick from that we want. So again, even at full price, there's not a baseball sim that does this. There just isn't. So they don't really need to add that, Sean, because there already are some mods for that are coming across for it. So, but I mean, that would be a nice thing. But remember, Mike Garland's integrated mod and other mods like that. There are mods out there that take into account that, neither World War I nor World War II happened. So you're not sort of hard limited. Out of the Park Developments is very, very good to modders. They are. They do recognize that people. I know that's one thing that Legends wishes for MLB The Show, that it'll eventually allow custom leagues. So this does. So it's good stuff. All right. What else do we want to look at here? I mean, there's so much. It drives me crazy, baby. It drives me crazy, but I love it. But let's jump into a game for an inning or two so you can see what everything looks like here. Okay. I want to get back to this a second, or maybe this. There's something I wanted to show you. Is it rosters and transactions? It's not that one. Let's just go ahead and go back to our home screen, and we're going to start the drive. And here we go. All right, so it's actually starting to simulate everything. So again, this is new now. You can play Drive for the Pennant in any game, in any historical season, which I love. Well, options aren't available in Drive for the Pennant. You'll see in a minute. John, I'll show you. So bearing in mind, guys, that most of you are usually doing season replays, random debuts, whatever. One of the things that is missing, okay, so my assistant GM is close to working out a trade. Decide if the deal's right for you. Okay, well, let's see. So right here, you get this nice team momentum and stuff like that. Okay, here it's going to show who is, this is a potential. So we have with the Boston Red Sox, right? So if we would trade Jeff Locke, we're going to get Brian Johnson, Luis Edgardo Diaz, and Brock Holt. I think I'm going to hold on to Jeff Locke for the time being. But we could, and they're also asking, are we going to add in, Frazier, Rodriguez, Casey Sadler, Jameson, Taillon, what have you. Arizona Diamondbacks offering. So you can get in here, you're doing trades and stuff like that. Now, John asked what's missing. Well, if you click on your manager name in a regular replay mode, you'll notice that there's a thing that will say act as. This, all you can do in this game, as far as a manager, you have to be the team that you pick. You can't switch teams. Okay. You can't do that. So like over here, so you can't do available jobs. Commissioner, there's no commissioner mode in Drive for the Pennant. So you're not getting an unfair advantage. Okay. Well, Sean, I've just kind of gone through what the big deal is. So I think it's a big deal. If you don't think it's a big deal, I'm not going to get into a debate. This is an overview, my friend. Okay. And I'm not being snarky with you. Just rough day at work. What I want to do is just chill, talk about the game. And that's what I'm doing. I'm not going to debate. If you don't feel there's value in it, okay. I think there is. Again, this with Player Development Lab, I can get in here, tinker around, do all kinds of things, make some crazy trades, have some fun with it. This is not for a seasoned replayer. However, you can make it that way. I can choose to ignore all of these trades. I can just reject everything right here. Bam, I can just reject it. All right. So let's go here. And let's go to our team schedule. All right. And we're going to go to March or go to April. Boom. Okay. So we're going to look at the Cubbies here. What's going on? We're going to continue starting the drive. At some random point, it's going to just drop you into a game. And that's where the fun is. Okay. It's opening day in the league. Journey of your team is truly begins now. How will you do? I have no idea. So let's go ahead and continue on to opening day. Here we go. Big moment. So you don't know when it's going to drop you into a game. You really, really don't. You need a massage. Yeah, no kidding, huh? The legitimate kind. I hear you, brother. Okay, protect your first win. Rare feat in the making. Chicago Cubs at Pittsburgh Pirates. All right, it's the top of the 7th. Pirates are ahead 1-0. Bases empty. No out. Now you can choose to just sim the game or jump in. I think jumping in is what's fun. That's what's fun. Okay, so we're going into the 7th, and it's going to take us to the ballpark. And here we are at PNC Park. Now, what you'll notice up here, you have to look a little bit, and if we move closer, notice the batter's name. There's his picture right up there. And what's really cool about this is look at the scoreboard. The scoreboard matches up here. So a little bit of MLB The Show type thing right here. So that scoreboard is going to keep, that little graphic there is going to keep updating. Now, I don't know how that will work with Mike's ballparks or not, but this is how at least it works with these. All right. And you could go to options, right? But when you go to options, like so game options, I could switch everything to AI and let it play out, but that's not fun. For this one, you're going to manage. All right, so I'm looking here, Anthony Rizzo. All right, so Rizzo's nothing too for the game. So AJ Burnett, let's see. Other nice thing, this again, for newer people, this is going to make you pay a little bit more attention to what's going on. All right, so Burnett, he's got maybe a little less than half a tank of gas left. Okay. We want to get him at least through this inning. So when we get to the bottom of the 7th, we're going to have Sanchez, Martin, and Mercer up. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just pitch. Trying to hold on to a 1-0 lead here, opening day in Pittsburgh. And here's the pitch. And Rizzo sends this one out to right field for a base hit. And this one's going to go away in the corner, and Anthony Rizzo has himself a leadoff double. So tying run is aboard. Now you notice here that A.J. Burnett has a no-no going. Had a no-no going. So now it's a one-hit shutout. So we got to worry about Rizzo here a little bit because he can steal the occasional base. All right, here's David DeJesus. All right. So let's look at who's on deck here. So Navarro is on deck. I'm not going to spin throw to second. We're just going to go ahead and we're just going to pitch. Instead of pitching to contact, we could try to pitch around, but with the heart of the order coming up, I don't want to do that. So let's see what happens if we just pitch. Okay, fly ball right or left field. Sorry. And Starling Marte makes the catch. So one away. We want to try to hold on to this 1-0 lead here. All right, here's Dioner Navarro. And we want to try to keep him off the base paths if we can. But if he does get on, we try to move 2. But we're going to just pitch to him. Full count. Oh, Navarro cranks this one out to right field. But making the catch out there is Travis Snyder. Rizzo's going to hold second, so 1 out from getting through this little bit of trouble. And here's Alfonso Soriano. He's nothing for 2 today. We're going to go ahead and pitch to him with 2 outs. Full count to Soriano. Soriano strikes out. All right, so we're doing fine so far. 7th inning stretch time already. And the jank that you might be seeing there over there again is my fault, not the game's fault. He's playing beautifully and smoothly right now. Hey, Corey Highfield. Okay, so guys, you're going to hear the sound cut out for a second. This is Corey's 3rd time in here. Corey gets a wrench. This is a thank you, Corey, for your kind of just being. This makes you like officially part of the family, man. Your oops, there we go. So let's do this. All right, and add as a moderator. All right, Corey, you are now a moderator on this channel. So welcome officially to the family. All right, there you go. See that wrench there? Boom. You can pop people in the head, and I never question my mods. If you knock somebody out, I don't second guess you. So, but it's really a thank you. All right, so Gaby Sanchez begins here with the Bucks. Here's the 5, 6, 7 hitters due up, and we'll swing away. See if we can pad this 1-0 lead. Little dribbler to third, but up with that one is Valbuena. So Luis Valbuena making the play. 1 away. And we're not going to play out this whole, we'll just let it sim out the rest of it. But we'll get through this inning. Full count of Russell Martin. Cueto. And little bouncer to first. Rizzo up with it and fires on to first. So score that one 3-1. 2 down for Jordy Mercer. 2 for 2. Jordy Mercer has an RBI in the game. 2-1 pitch on the way. And again, sorry for the jank out there, guys. Base hit left field. So the Bucks with a possible second run aboard, and it's going to bring in Travis Snyder. So the right fielder, he's 0 for 1. Now I might want to go for a pinch hitter here. Let's see who I've got on the bench. Maybe Jay to come in to pinch hit. But I got to look and see what I got left in right field. Garrett Jones, Jose Tabata. Actually, maybe I'll bring Tabata in here, and then I don't have to waste a player. Let's bring him in. Yeah? So Travis Snyder is... Whoops, my fault. Where is Tabata? There he is. Okay, Travis Snyder is out. There we go. All right, let's get back to game action here. All right, Mercer... Tabata, I almost want to bat 2 down. We're just going to swing away. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. So all of that came to naught. All right. I will tell you again, I don't know what's, it's a YouTube thing, whatever. But one thing, and you're not seeing it here, is that this game plays really smoothly. It really, really does. I probably should have cleared everything up before jumping on, but I have to be at work early on Saturdays, so there you go. We're going to go ahead and just knock this to the entire game and see if we held on to this. Nope, Chicago won 4-2, so AJ Burnett had himself a good game, but the Cubbies in the top of the 8th inning plated 4, so we lose that one. So we jump out of the game. That's basically what this is all about. So you can go as deep into Drive for the Pennant as you want. Where I see scenarios in this is not maybe replaying a team that finished first, but maybe taking a team like, say, the 1949 Boston Red Sox who finished a half game out in that race. Maybe, and you don't want to do the entire season replay, but you just want to see what your moves are going to do. And you get to do a bit of field managing, and it's a real nice way to get into the game, right? Again, you're going to see all the games you got coming up and scores and everything like that. So I like it. I really, really like it. And here's the finished scores in the game thus far. But the big thing is you can't change teams in this. You can't. So if you do play Drive for the Pennant, just know that. But I think this is a wonderful, wonderful addition. The Player Development Lab works in preseason and off-season. So for player development, I would suggest using career mode. You can see what's nice is you will get, let's go back to Player Development Lab for a little bit. So once you assign a player to improve skills in the off season, that what you can do is you can check like it's what's called a midterm report, and your scouts will tell you, well, yeah, he still has a lot of room for improvement. So you can let that player stay there, or they'll tell you, well, he's pretty much reached his peak. So you cut your losses, take him out, bring in another player to develop. So you're not just locked into hoping that, let's say, Pedro Alvarez or whoever you might put in here, Mickey Mantle, like he needs any improvement, what have you. I think it's really nice. No other game does this. No other game does this. And for some people, we might think it's an incremental upgrade. It's a huge upgrade. It's groundbreaking. It's groundbreaking to be able to develop players. I play a lot of action PC baseball, and there's not really a mechanism in that. There's no mechanism in that game to actually improve your players. Nothing in Baseball for Windows. Nothing that I know of in PC Replay Baseball, Strat, APA. Any of this is the only game that has it. And I think that's big. Let's go back to our start screen. And again, there's the quick start games, by the way. I'm not going to. You can save every game as a quick start, by the way, but we're not going to start it. Let's start a new quick start game, and let me see if there's anything. So, let me tell you right now: do not use this all-time greatest league that comes with it. Just get this one that I'm using, and I call it Miss League, whatever you call it, whatever you want. Again, if anybody wants it, I'll zip it and put it in the Nebagreeby Discord. Okay, but let's go back to the start screen, show you some other stuff. We will show you the ballpark creator and how you can make random ballparks. The Hall of Fame showcase, you're going to see more and more from that. Here's all your game settings and stuff like that. These are very, very global. Audience resolution, wherever you want to set it. So on my newer PC, I'm going to crank everything up. But again, the game plays really, really, really nicely. Okay, let's cancel this and cancel this. Yeah, go to new game. All right. So you've got, of course, the heart of the game, which is the custom game. Okay. You guys, I don't think you need any. The custom game is what it is. Okay. So we're going to get back out of this in a second, but this is where you can do everything. Now, the tournament thing, this is grayed out for right now. But there's historical, but this is where you can really get into a lot of depth. Okay. A lot of depth here. So here in the fictional league is like the sandbox. This is the big sandbox right here because this is where you can pick what Legends would talk about as a custom league. This is where you all set it up. Nothing new here. And again, there's the scary advanced mode. If you want to get into all that kind of stuff, you certainly can. I don't think it's really necessary. Let's go back to loading a game. And we're going to get back to the Miss League just because I'm going to show you a little bit of this ballpark thing, and then we're going to get out of here. Okay, so let's bring this back up. Tough loss. How about it? Jeez. It probably does, Todd or Sean. I haven't seen that a lot, but yeah, I mean, you could have an injured player, so it will throw things randomly at you, which is really nice. I love it. I love it myself, actually. So let's go to Pirates and let's go to team settings. And as much as I'm not gonna kill. I don't want to get rid of PNC Park actually. So But let's go to the team home screen. Let's go to settings. Okay. And let's go to edit ballpark. And then from here, this is, again, where we can, if we go to the 3D park construction kit, which I'm just going to create a couple parks, but I'm not going to get rid of this beauty, obviously. But let's go ahead and do this. Now, again, this is, if there's one thing I would say, this thing needs a little bit more time. So you see this transparency here. This is a roof. Very easy to get rid of. Just go down here. Just get rid of, just right here, and say, I don't want a roof. Boom, roof's gone. So there's a nice little ballpark right there. Nice little ballpark that the field setup, the field dimensions, not all this pretty stuff around here, or all this stuff, right? And it's somewhere out in the desert, that you can see similar dimensions to the PNC Park. Now, of course, you guys know we can do a major league park, we can do a minor league park, whatever. Okay, let's stick it to the majors. Now, the way it used to be, you would have to select your ballpark shape between just 5. And here is my criticism. You only have 5 shapes, 5 field types. You have 6 panoramas, which is this stuff back here. And then you have a choice of a closed roof, a dome, no roof, or an open roof. One of the things I would like to see them do is I want them to add more architectural features, even to have, let's say, 10. And we'll see that in step 2 in the 3D layout. I want to see more of that. I realize you can have a lot of field textures, things like that. I get it. But it would be nice, for instance, to have what's known as the keyhole, right? That little runway between the pitcher's mound and home. I'd love to see that added in there. But let's just have a park. Let's just have a generated park. So what you do is you just go right here and generate a random park. Press a button. I am not going to save this park. You might come up with some cool things. You never know. So give it a minute here. And it is crunching, 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 crunching. And let's, again, remove this. Now, this park, totally different now. There we go. So, again, some little bit of issues here, but let's go down to our default view. There we go. So this is more of a minor league looking kind of park, or maybe something that you might have seen from the 70s. Okay. So let's just continue with this one. So let's go to step 2, 3D layout, and let's change back to the construction kit. And I really, really don't want this roof. So hang on a second. Let's go to step, I don't want to go to step 3. Let's go to step 1, and let's have it generate another. Let's get rid of the roof. We don't want a roof. We don't want a roof. All right, so now we get a bigger view of our ballpark. Let's go to step 2 in our 3D layout. Nothing random here. This is where you actually have to create things. And it is kind of limited in that way. So let's say out in left field, they have bullpens in left and right field. Well, maybe in left field, I want to do the double bullpen out in there. I'm going to have the double bullpen, and I'm going to get rid of that over here, right? Left center field has got some flagpoles. Well, maybe I just want to put bleachers out there and be old-timey. There we are. Now we got some bleachers. Center field, we have ads with trees. Okay, whatever that means. But we could just put just make it there for batters. So kind of fun. Right field, let's make this slope stands. There we go. And then we can change our seating color to red if we want to. So pretty quick and dirty way to make ballparks. Okay. Well, we're not done yet. So in this scoreboard up here, when you see these in orange, this is where you're going to see not only the line score, but as each player comes up to bat, you will see his image up there in his name. So nice new touch there. Play out of the park baseball. Okay. We'll leave the seating at red. Don't know why, but we will. Okay. You can set the height. So you see there, look at this. I can set the height up there for the bullpens if I want. Everything is configurable that way, which is really nice. If I want these slope stands, they're not going to go down any further, but I can certainly bring them up a little bit if I wanted to. So think RFK Stadium that had those high walls and stuff like that. It is a nice new feature. Yeah, really nice new feature. I remember you guys are talking about building a ballpark. I remember building tons of ballparks in Earl Weaver baseball. It was a blast. Loved it. All right, let's go to step 3 and fence configuration. So here's where you start to get some pretty deeper stuff. So let's go to our wide camera so we can get a better look at things here. So if we want our left field line, do you want to make it smaller? Do you want to make it bigger? Whatever. So see, look at this. I'm moving everything in. So it's going to get down to about 304. Okay, I can change wall height. Maybe I want a higher wall here or a lower wall, what have you. So I'm going to go ahead and you can actually see, look. So you have the left line and then left field. Okay. So some pretty cool stuff here. That looks a little bit wonky. So let's kind of make that behave itself a little bit. Okay. So you can do whatever kind of things that you want. Fence color. There we go. You can make it kind of a bluish fence, whatever. You can have the top color. Probably that's the one everybody's used to, right? There you go. Change your camera view again, reset camera views, camera rotation controls. So there we can, this can be how you can, this is how you create cameras basically, in this game. So you can create your own cameras. And not only in the ballpark construction kit, but also with Mike Silva's, you could actually go in and create your own cameras. Of course, Mike has included a lot of cameras. You can make the whole outfield from left to right the green monster. If I wanted to, I could make this the green or blue monster or whatever. Yes, I could. Definitely. But I'm not going to do much more with this. There's a couple other things I want to show you so we can review and finalize. We're going to give it a name. Is this going to be a major league park? Yes, of course. I can assign this to a team right now if I wanted to. I'm not going to, but I could assign this to a team. You notice there's no lights in this park. So what I could do is get rid of some of this kind of craziness up there. The other thing, there is a tutorial, so not in the game, but there is a way that you can replace the signage out here. Mike Silva, of course, does it, where you can replace this signage with old-time signage. If, let's say, you're looking to recreate old Yankee Stadium, or a version of old Yankee Stadium, you can do that and put in advertising. There's lots of places where you can download stuff like that. Again, I think with Mike's mod, though, there's not really a need to do that. Okay, and right now I could save this ballpark if I wanted to. Okay, or load a ballpark model or whatever. Now, I'm going to see if they fixed this part. Yep, they did. Good, because this crashed on me last night. Other things that you guys might not know about out of park baseball, when you're working with existing parks like Mike Silva's or the 30 parks that come with the game, is you can have, like, you can actually set XY coordinates. You can also just drag everybody around just like you do. It's easier actually than Action PC Baseball. Look at that, man. There's no weird snapping or anything. So I can change that. Also, there's ball locations. Now, don't let this throw you. Remember, we're looking at something here that's three-dimensional. So you're thinking, wow, that only goes out like to there. That's an extra base hit. No, it's not. So it's because we're looking at this on a 3D plane, right? So if we go over here and we go to diagram, now you're seeing, and I think if you wanted to go into this and you want to change ball locations, work from the diagram level. But I found that with out of the park baseball, these are pretty realistic ball flights. But feel free to change what you can, and everything is right, movable. You want to change the weather in the city that you're living in, that you're playing. You want to play an all Arctic League, go for it. Maybe I want Pittsburgh to have the weather. Oh my God, wouldn't I love it? San Diego, California. If I click this, I'm going to get that weather. All that kind of stuff. In here is where you can do all your own sounds. So you can import sounds into this game. Okay. So that's that. Let's go back to our start screen. We're not going to get into long things like the draft tonight. Hey, there's MV. How you doing, my friend? So again, a very, very quick overview. I think we're an hour in, and I think that's good. So my final recommendation of this game. So if you're a person who buys and plays out of the park baseball, I think you're going to want this for the updates. I think Player Development Lab 2.0 plus the being able to play Drive for the Pennant in any season. The draft model is overhauled and amazing in this game. I mean, it's super, super in depth now. So you can really, really, really fine tune. So if you want to create a draft league in this game, whether using real players or fictional players, you have more control than ever. The Hall of Fame Showcase is going to continue to grow, as will be the World to the Baseball Classic. I don't know where. I don't think that is actually implemented yet. So I'm not seeing that here. But there's, of course, our old friend, the Historical Exhibition, which, bear in mind, this is kind of its own animal. And so and the reason I want to make this distinction, this is true ever since this has been added to Out of the Park Baseball, is this one's kind of its own thing in a way. So you can just play any old World Series that you want. And this has everything up to the 2024 World Series. So we literally could set up, if we wanted to, and play the 2024 World Series and see if Freddie Freeman is going to be a hero again. But this is also where you can do tournaments. Now, Chris Slovic has a workaround for this, but 70 teams is a hell of a big tournament, which is really, really nice. You can also pit any two teams in baseball history against one another. You can set the amount of games that you want, the series mode, DH on or off. You can also set era strategies and stuff like that. You can choose between opening day rosters, end of season rosters, and World Series rosters if available. Really nice. You can set your active roster limit all the way up to 40 players if you want. Enable, disable injuries. Setting up a tournament or setting up a World Series is super, super easy. As far as the ballpark creator, I think it's a great idea that I hope Out of the Park Developments will add some more sections. And I think maybe some parameters or something, whatever, so that, because there is a decided bias toward kind of newer parks, and I'd like to see a little bit more classic park stuff. It would be kind of nice to, if they would maybe incorporate some of these mods into the game that will allow you to change signage, for instance. I think that would be fun. But again, there's great modders out there that do the stuff. So, again, we're still talking, even though they were bought by a big company, this is still a very small development team. I think a lot of people are going to say, well, I'm going to pass. I mean, that's valid. I think you're missing a lot. I think to those players, I would say, if you just want a strict season replay, okay. But if you want to actually say, all right, not only do I want to do a strict season replay, but I want to kind of influence, what would I do differently? So that's where Player Development Lab 2.0, which we've barely touched on. I've only touched on one aspect of it. So it's not just one player at a time. You can have all kinds of guys doing work in the off season. All right. And I think it's a great way to say, all right, I think I could do better than so-and-so, right? I think that's fun. So that's why this appeals to me. Would I buy Out of the Park Baseball just for season replay? I think that there are games out there like Action PC Baseball that are single season replay focused. That's what they do. Does that make Action PC stronger season replays? No, I don't think it does. I think this does great season replays, but you can't be afraid to get your hands dirty in this game. You have to get your hands dirty. There's just no other way. There's no other way around it. What can I say? Um, to me, this is an insta buy every year. I think it's a great ball game. It gives you a brilliant sense of history. In fact, we're going to go ahead and return to the Out of the Park main screen and just talk about something that I really, really love that Out of the Park has, because it does give you that sense of immersion into the game in the year you're playing or whatever. Well, if you're playing this Myths League, you basically have Baseball Reference right here. It is right here, which, again, I think is fantastic. So let's go to our history index, and there we go. Look at that. So everything, this only goes up to 2023 or 2022 because this actually first came out in Out of the Park Baseball 24, and I've moved it forward 2 editions. But just the things that you can look at in here, absolutely crazy. You want to look up a player, go ahead. You can do it. You want to look up teams. So there's for cousin Ken Castro here, let's look at the Philadelphia Phillies. All right. So we can see there's the Phillies in every incarnation, attendance figures, the whole thing. We can actually, right. So this is like just kind of the basic data that you can look at. However, if you want to pick a season, and let's pick 1950, the Whiz Kids, right? Let's do that. Now you've got really, 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 really in-depth, broken down by fielders and everything. Their leaders, batting leaders, everything. You have Baseball Reference right here. It's here. Gotta love it. So going back to teams. So this should look familiar if you go to Baseball Reference. There we go. Look at Chicago White Sox. Once again, look at that. And what are we looking at here? What are we looking at? So there we go. There's Arden Fitzsimmons. I probably picked a too early Chicago White Sox team. So let's go back one. And let's go a little forward. Let's go to the 1906 Hitless Wonders. There they are. They're all here. They're all in here. And when you play the game, when you actually are playing the game too, we talked about these milestones. Now, if I was playing in a year, then we might, you're going to see different numbers. But just in this one, so Mel Ott, all right, he's going to hit a milestone in this season. It was a milestone to reach his 2,000 hits. Right now, he is 59 hits away from it. I like that. So imagine you guys are somebody out there is doing a 1973 replay. So if I were to load 1973 and we would look at this league history, in fact, we could do that, then you would see the actual milestones for that year for those players. How cool is that? There's no other digital baseball game that gives you this. There's all the home run numbers here, even by teams, right? So, and whatever. So here's Harmon Killebrew, for instance. So he is 4 home runs away from 450 career home runs as of this league. Okay. Let's go back to our start screen. And we're just going to pick an earlier season, set it up so I can show you that. Legends, I saw you were streaming earlier. This is the rare night that I have to start. I usually work a later shift, Tuesdays through Fridays, but Saturdays I've got to be here in the morning. So I wanted to get this out of the way as promised. So I usually never broadcast on top of you, my friend. So always love the milestone watch. How about it? How about it? So I'll go back and catch your game tomorrow after work. Definitely. All right, let's pick a season, guys. And until Mike's ballparks are in here, I'm not going to like actually do anything with it. No worries. He said, well, you weren't even in your own chat tonight or called. Gotcha. All right, guys, let's pick as legend, because the milestone watch is really, really cool. All right, you guys probably 61 to 79. That's going to be kind of a good wheelhouse for everybody. So we did say 1972. Well, we'll go to 1973. So we're going to import everything up to 1973. Okay. And oops, did I just pick drive for the pennant mode? That's not what I want. No, I don't want that. No. Don't want to play drive for the pennant. Let's put this one in strict replay mode. No, career mode. I want career mode because I want to do, I might, once Mike's Ballparks are available, I do want to show you. That's so I can do a deep dive into Player Development Lab. Okay, always import minor leagues. Always do that, guys. All right. And then you can, I turn off financials, but all this other stuff, I think you should leave on. All right. Each season rookie draft will be held to assign new players. You can just leave everything there. Don't have to touch advanced if you don't want. We can get into that another night. Okay. And this is basically just to show you what the history is going to look like. And I love that. I love the fact that they give you that real sense of immersion of turning off face gen. I'm not a fan. So, okay. And we'll call this 1973 EXP because that way I'll just either do something or know this is something I want to get rid of. Again, I always do daily saves on this thing. I'm going to play manager. You also notice in Drive for the Pennant, John, that you can't choose. It just you notice there are a few choices. Okay, so here I always play a manager and commissioner mode. That way I don't have to worry about finances. And I also don't like to be fired from a baseball squad. I'm allergic to that. All right, so everybody welcome in Corey Highfield, newest member of the fam. The fam, fantastic. All you guys. This ain't a channel. This is a family. So, Sean, I will say, to return to your question, I mean, I don't mean to sound snarky. I think that there is value in the Drive for the Pennant, especially now that it's in past seasons. Why do we do season replays? For those of you who are strict season replayers, which are most of you are strict season replayers. Well, it's not only nostalgia, but there's got to be that little thing too is, okay, I want to see if I can do better. I'm going to see if I can do better than John McNamara did with the 1975 Red Sox. Well, here's your chance. And Drive for the Pennant is an easy way to ease your way in, and it's a great way to learn out of the park baseball. And it's for those of us that I don't feel like maybe doing a season replay where I'm doing every game, and I'm just picking one team as 162 teams, or the way I do it with like that Myths League, where I'll just pick some cool games to play or whatever. You have it's the most focused mode of out of the park baseball, and you got to work the GM side of the brain and the field manager side of the brain. That's why I think it offers a lot of whatever. So I'm going to stick with my Buccos. I was going to pick the A's, but we can see them anyhow. So couldn't find info on a mode. It was not bashing the game. Totally didn't think. Okay, yeah. So you read me wrong. It's totally wrong. You said got mad. Oh no, I'm just getting mad at you, man. It's just been a shitty day, buddy. So my mea culpa, buddy. My sorry. So I say to you, Sean, in all your sartorial splendor, that you are always welcome. You're an awesome dude. And I am sorry. It's just been a rough day at work. It's been like full moon bullshit. And I just threw your new word too. So sartorial is your word for today. All right. Yeah, absolutely. Sartorial is a good word. Sartorial is a good word. All right. So let's look at league history again and our history index. So the first thing you're going to notice is it stops at 1972. So you can transport back in time, and that's it. So nothing exists after 1972. It is all an unwritten future. So I love that. We were talking about milestones. Well, here they are. Here are the milestones. So Harmon Killebrew is 110 hits away from 2,000 hits as of the beginning of the 1973 season. If we get out here, what's the hit that everybody loves? Well, it ain't triples. Hank Aaron is going to be at, he is 37 home runs away. 37 home runs away from 700. Okay. And on and on and on. I love that about this game. Let me see. There's certain things. So there's, of course, your 1972 world champion Oakland A's. Ta-da. Click on anybody. And again, there they are. We go back to history. Again, any of these team histories, if we pick the Chicago White Sox, once again, the White Sox are going to just stop right there at 1972. You can see for 1973, no record. So, kind of fun way to confine yourself, I suppose. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. So it'll show you retired players, whatever. Hall of Fame. You can always look at Hall of Fame voting and stuff like that. So I will make the argument that it's nice that you can get it at 10% off. And it's really cool that the developers do that. If you buy it from Out of the Park itself, and this isn't the Hall of Fame thing. This is something very, very different. This actually comes as part of this super, super cool mod. And there's not going to be anybody in here past 1972. Okay. Which I think is cool. So it is about getting that sort of immersion, if you will. See, Hall of Fame voting stops at 1972, but these were the actual votes the guys got. The guys in red were the guys that made it, and you can trace this back. So I think that's really, really cool. Yeah. So we don't have any sort of year inducted, 1950, positions any, apply filter. See, no players in the Hall of Fame match these criteria. So I could filter inductees. I'm just going to let you guys do that. Here's sort of all Hall of Famers and what have you. So I love the history part of it. I also love the league newspaper, which we're not going to see anything or too much in right now. Here are your power rankings listed at the beginning. So there's Bill Madlock and whatever. I haven't imported really any pictures into here. Upcoming league events, and this is all accurate. It's all accurate. So that's a quick look. Again, if you want to you want to see it more of a game, maybe we can do that tomorrow night. So you can see the scoreboards and how they work. Again, not as fancy as MLB The Show, but a really nice touch, and you will see the line score underneath player images update as the game goes along. So real nice touch there. Real nice touch. So yeah, the Hall of Fame plaque. So the Hall of Fame thing is really, really cool. To see the actual Hall of Fame thing, let's go back to the start screen. I like the ones that come with this mod, to be honest with you. But if we go to the Hall of Fame showcase, these are the actual Hall of Fame plaques. Okay. These are the actual Hall of Fame plaques. Okay. And there we go. So there's Gary Carter's actual plaque in Cooperstown. Okay. They promise to be adding to this, which is really, really nice. Looking forward. It has some artifacts in here that you can see. There's not a lot in here yet. So this is an ongoing partnership with the National Baseball Hall of Fame Museum. Super, super cool. But I think for most of you, I think looking at the plaques is going to be kind of the cool thing. That being said, I like the ones that come with the mod better. So that's the Hall of Fame thing. Let's return to the main screen again. I'm not going to talk about perfect team. I think guys like Mike Silva and David Lando are far more, as far as talking about these. Now, how easy it is to import a game? Pretty easy. I'm in my league folder here, and I can just pick up sort of whatever kind of leagues that I want. So there, if I wanted to bring in 1967, I just click, and I can see there's the world DAT, confirm, and I forget. Well, I said 1967, so we'll just put 1967 and import now. And do I want to search it for logos? Well, yes, I do. And it's now, that's how easy it is. So if you buy Out of Park 26 and you have Out of Park 25, keep Out of Park 25 there so you can get stuff imported. This works the same as Diamond Mine Baseball. So you can't import something from Out of Park 24 into this game. You actually go through each edition because they do a lot of changes. I'm happy to report Historical plays really well. I know that's probably the big unanswered question in the room. But it's there. So there we go. Look, and it's saved everything. And here's where I am in this. I don't even think I'm that far in this. This is something I was showing one night, so I don't think I'm too far. Yeah. So, but there we go. Actual rosters, of course. And again, if we go to league history, we go to the history index, and lo and behold, it only goes up to 1966. Looking at milestones, you can see where everybody is. And I think that, for me, this adds so much to a replay. But the big things in this are the draft, which I haven't even shown you tonight because I would have to be up for 3 hours to show you how in-depth the stretch is, the draft is. Player Development 2.0, it's a whole new ball game, guys. Drive for the Pennant using any season. In any major league season, I should say. Take the helm of your team. Have some fun with it. The scoreboards are a nice touch. Random ballparks, again, I think they need work. That is my only kind of on the game. But the games I have been playing, I did a game the other night, and Walter Johnson was performing like you would expect. 15 strikeouts. Bam, 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 bam. Walter Johnson was dominant. And seeing more than other editions of Out of Park Baseball, players performing as you would expect them to perform a little bit more closely. Not that the game wasn't accurate before, but it plays well. And again, there's some jank on the stream, but I promise you this game plays beautifully. Testing it on a GTX 1660i and an RTX 4070 Super. And it runs great on both of them. Obviously, it runs better on the RTX 4070. That's like way over spec. Even this is. But, programs like StreamYard, they up some memory, so it's going to run better on my newer PC. But again, this is only for content creators. Because if you even watch Dwayne Martz's, there's a little bit of hitching and stuff going on. But that's because StreamYard takes a lot of damn memory. And there's no way around it. I don't know what else to say, guys. It's, it is what it is. I think it's a great game. You get full minor leagues in this game, which is really, really nice. So if we wanted to look at the 1967 Tulsa Oilers, there they are. And so they even have more. And let me remind you, in Out of the Park Baseball, you can play a minor league season all the way through. If you want to play minor leagues, you can play minor leagues. If you wanted to play the Oklahoma City 89ers and you want to play a season with them, go for it. Have fun. Negro Leagues, this is where you find Negro Leagues and stuff like that in Out of Park Baseball as well. I'm very happy with this new edition. Best one yet. It's deep, but don't expect huge graphical enhancements. They're more incremental. But if you this is giving you even more and more and more and more control over what, in my estimation, and that and $7 will get you a latte at Starbucks. I think this is the most in-depth baseball simulation extant. And that is not a knock on Digital Diamond Baseball. It's not a knock on Action PC or any of the other fine digital games that are out there. But there is not a digital game out there, purely digital game, that will let you do what this one does. There's just no way. Even Pocket Pennant Run, little old Pocket Pennant Run, which actually has a bigger database than this game, there's still so much you can't do, but it's not meant to do that. Craig Harris is a madman, though. He probably will add stuff like career play and scouting and all that crazy stuff probably down the line. And who knows, maybe Pocket Pennant Run will have the analog cards and dice version and the digital version. Who knows? I don't know. But there we go. Let's go back and we should gaze at the 1967 Red Sox in awe and wonder. So, and I get the fielding ratings are as good as Action PC, and oftentimes better. Yeah, or you find, yeah, I do too. I tend to like the fielding ratings better on here. And again, now there's some things I think that Action PC does better than Out of the Park Baseball. So another nice thing about a review, this one meant a review, but even a quick look, comparisons are inevitable, gentlemen. And working at the player level, Action PC Baseball is a dream, as is Diamond Mine Baseball, as is Baseball for Windows, as is Pure Sim Baseball. This one is a pain in the ass. It is a pain in the ass. I will say this. If you want to import a player, you can do it. Import a player, that's fine. But to actually create something like recreate a Bats League, or if, you were watching Legends, just like, wow, I like who he picked for the San Francisco Giants, and you wanted to create that league in here, you would actually, there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work to it. Text file, import, onto the team. Remember this, remember that. Action PC is hands down the best for working at the player level for this. Action PC with the Baseball History Collection gives you a nice way to create what if leagues, seeing players at their peak. There's nothing really like that where you have everybody who retired in baseball and you have this kind of peak slice of a player's career. Nothing like that exists in Action PC Baseball. So you put together an all-time great team, you're going to have to do some homework and say, okay, this is Jim Rice's best year. This is Gary Carter's best year. Willie Stargell's best year. Tris Speaker's best year. Haas Radborn's best year. And you've got to make that decision. Whereas Baseball History Collection, you just get the player at his best. The fact that it's licensed by Major League Baseball, I think, is huge. I know when I watch Legends, and even when I do an MLB the Show game, obviously offline, I won't do it while he has a season going on, because that's his thing, man. I love that, and I think it adds so much to the game, and I think it keeps up. It keeps the quality going because, let's say, this is a coveted license. This is something to have. I'm sure if Dave Cook could afford it, could get it, I think he would like to have. Why not? Why not have the Major League license? For $49, this game is a steal. At $44 right now, you're really you're getting something amazing. In this game, I've seen it as low as $9.95 through the year. But if you're a digital baseball player, I don't see why you wouldn't buy it, unless it was just something that, right now you're just playing so much Action PC Baseball, you don't have time for another game. If you're Dwayne Martz, right? Dwayne pretty much he sticks with this game for his World Series project and Digital Diamond for his, the various replays and things that he does in the Bats Leagues and stuff. And I get that. I collect digital games like a lot of people collect cards and dice card baseball games. And finally, I can say that anything that I can imagine in a baseball universe, I can pretty much do right here. So this is for the person that wants to get in and just what happens if I do this? Hey, Dwayne, how you doing? Wish this would come to console. That would be something. That would be. It would be actually. I think it would be a smart move for them to go to console, because there might be, right, because I was mistaken until I saw Legends Sports Universe, and before that, I was like during that thing that happened in 2020 that kept everybody at home on YouTube one day, and there was baseball on. I'm like, what the hell? It was April. What the hell's going on here? There's baseball, And it was I don't know if WR, whoever does the Mets games, they were actually doing these games. And I found out later, then I'm like, Legends. I'm like, yeah, because Legends asked me, so what about MLB The Show? I'm like, dude, I don't want to play a Twitch game. And he's like, but you don't have to play. It's not a Twitch game if you don't want it to be. Midlife Crisis is with us. How quick is a very quick load? What you miss? Give it to you from the beginning. All right, you ready? Here we go. Drive for the Pennant mode. And it uses any historical baseball season. Player Development Lab 2.0. Completely overhauled and awesome. Let me see. What else? You got really cool scoreboard image stuff like that. The draft, which we haven't touched, is super, super expanded now. Nitty gritty stuff. Good stuff. Ballparks look a little smoother. You can make random ballparks in this game now. Yeah. So there we go. But yeah, so John DFW says that he would definitely use Drive for the Pennant with historical season. It's fun. It's really fun because you have no idea where the game's going to throw you in. It's like, what? It's what? Top of the ninth, and I'm down 2 runs, and I got 2 runners on. Go. So you don't know, and I love the surprises that it does throw at you. Pretty cool. Of course, strategy, not only player strategy, but whatever, has always been a very, very big thing. So again, this is nothing new, but just for those of you who might still be considering out of the park baseball, what a great time to jump in. As far as you want to set up how smart your managers are and what they do, go for it. All right. You can do that. Now you can do strategy presets. You can import strategies from files, and you can see here that it does come with some actual managers that you can bring in. The champ in this one, obviously, Pure Sim Baseball. You can actually bring in. They have like tons and tons of managers, but you get a good selection. So if you don't want to mess around with sliders here, you don't have to. But if you do, it's all here for you. One of the reasons also that I like it, along with player development, with the player development lab. So let's take somebody like Galen Cisco. Let's look at Galen Cisco. So we can look at our strategy with Galen Cisco. Do we want him, hit, run, sacrifice, bunt for hit, stealing bases? This is something, again, that's not available in Action PC Baseball. Remembers Carlos Yaz asking me, well, if I'm play, can I set the frequency of when Lou Brock can steal? No, not in that game, unless they add it in 2025, and I just completely missed it. So not only do you have that deeper stuff going on in here, but here it is, Player Development Lab. But we've already gone over how to work with this thing and potential and stuff like this. So you can see I'm kind of messing about there. So again, this has plan presets that you can do here. Power, like, okay, so we're talking about a pitcher here, right? So do I want him to be a power arm, a ground ball pitcher, a finesse pitcher, a workhorse? So if I click this, boom, makes him into a workhorse now, right? So that increases his stamina, but at the cost of control, things like that. So, but I'm just going to reset to where he was. So that's big. That is really, really, really big for this game. Again, the BNN page is returned, and how can you not love it? The BNN page is awesome. It works in conjunction with what's happened historically up to the year that you're playing a replay. Plus, you can look at this through the Baseball History Index itself. Contract stuffs, I don't care about that. You can get a quick overview, of course, the real life stats of any player you want. Boom. So there you go. There's Galen Cisco and whatever. And for those of you budding Steve Tates out there or Legend Sports Universe, you can actually edit players in this game too. Don't know if you guys realize that or not, but you can. So you can check batting ratings, do whatever you want. You want to put yourself in the game, go ahead. Why not? I don't know what else to say about this in a kind of context of a quick look. This game is just incredibly dense. And believe me, I understand it's intimidating. It can be very intimidating. Hey, we got another Sean in here. Now we're going to have to do WWG and Sean. Welcome in, Sean. How you doing? All right. Now we got a Sean in the WWG. This is amazing. Corey saying hi. All right. Good, guys. So, at the end of the day, look, there's a lot of, we live in a platinum age of everything from what, even if you're playing MLB The Show as, a Twitch game, still, what a fun game it is. If you're playing in franchise mode, doing the things at Legend Sports Universe, it's a great game. Baseball for Windows, still a great game. There's been nothing as far as announcers, even MLB The Show can't touch it. That's its strength and an excellent play-by-play. Diamond Mine has the best play-by-play that there is out there. Pocket Pennant Run, good up and comer. You've got, we've got a bunch of digital games we can talk about. Look what you guys got, and look what we have in Cards and Dice Game. My God, Appa and Strat are still around, but you got Payoff Pitch, Inside Pitch, National Pastime 3, National Pastime Next Generation Plus, Status Pro Baseball. All these games are around. Version 13 of Digital Diamond Baseball will have the Advanced Status Pro engine built into it as a discrete engine. Man, you couldn't ask for a better time to be a baseball fan right now. From games like MLB The Show to this, to Digital Diamond, to Pocket Pennant Run, to PC Replay, to whatever you'd like to play, it's there. But this, to me, in my opinion, this is the king. As far as digital baseball simulations go, it's the king. There's just, long live the king. And if anything, I'm hoping that maybe there will be a competitor for this game, a competitor for the crown. I'd love to see that happen. But I think it's a great purchase. I buy it every year, and I'm so far, I'm liking it a lot, and I think it's worth the money. The Rays Stadium was updated to Steinbrenner Field this year. I guess you can always build one out. You can also just change. I mean, I don't know what the updates are. We can look at it if you want. But I would have to start a 2025 season to see what it looks like. Or maybe not. Let me see. Let's look. Maybe we don't have to. So let's look at Tampa Bay and let's see. Eventually. I just do it from right here. Duh. I'm stupid. Where did they hide you guys? Oh, I'm in 1967. I thought I was still in my Myths League. Let me load that up. God, I must be really tired. Okay, here we go. That's all right. I got a couple minutes here. It's still nighttime. It's not the morning yet. All right. I have no idea. Let's have a look here. So I wouldn't know what it looked like. So let's look at the my pictures and coordinates. So there's what we have right now. And again, up here is where you'll see the player comes to bat. We could just do an exhibition game. Let's do a quick not the whole thing. Let's do an exhibition game. You guys can pick two teams. Doesn't matter. Let's do this game. Let's go MLB. Let's play an exhibition game just for shits and giggles. All right. So, nope, apparently it was an MLB. Licensing issue or something. Even MLB The Show is still using the trap. Okay. Thank you for that, John. All right. Let's pick two teams here. I don't care. First visitor team and first home team. The first two I see is what we can do. So these are, again, all-time great teams. So That's another nice thing I will say that Action PC does that this doesn't, is as long as you have the seasons installed and you could play, this does exhibitions, but it's outside. It's in the tournament mode. It's something very different. So they both do it. I think it's just a little bit more accessible in Action PC, provided you own the seasons. John says he drove by Tropicana. All right, Phillies versus Pirates. Oh my goodness. All right. Hey, Nathaniel. How you doing, my friend? All right, so Philadelphia Phillies, Pittsburgh Pirates. We're on our way to PNC Park. Okay. So interesting. All right, so leading off for the Philadelphia Phillies, Billy Hamilton batting second at shortstop, Jimmy Rollins batting third in left field, Ed Delahanty batting in the cleanup spot and catching Jack Clements. I think we should. Can we fix that from here? No, we can't because we are not the manager, so we have to leave it alone. That's okay. Batting sixth, Bobby Abreu. Batting seventh, Chase Utley. Batting in eighth spot, Von Hayes and Grover Cleveland. Alexander takes the mound. Oh my God. So Phillies look to have the upper hand in this one. Leading off for the Pittsburgh Pirates is shortstop Honus Wagner batting second and catching Jason Kendall batting third. First base tonight, Paul Wainer. Batting a cleanup spot, Roberto Clemente. Batting behind him at number 5 is Willie Stargell. Batting sixth, third base, hot corner man, Hot Pie Trainer. Batting seventh at second base, Bill Mazeroski. Batting eighth in center field, Lloyd Wainer, because I want to give him some playing time. And batting ninth and pitching, Bob Veal. Let's make sure we've got everything disabled in the background. Should already be. Yep, good. All right, let's go to the park. So you guys can get a look at it. So here we go. All right. Hard to see up there. There's Billy Hamilton. There's Billy Hamilton. And empty scoreboard, empty line score. So pretty nice. All right, here we go. Bob Veal. Again, it's going to be janky. I guess the stream's going to be janky, guys. Not the fault of Out of the Park Baseball because it's whizzing around like crazy here. But looking like it's dropping some frames over there, you guys. I'm sorry. All right. Here we go. Oh, a little grounder to third. And sliding Billy Hamilton retired just by a nip and a tuck. So one down here, and here's Jimmy Rollins. Jimmy Rollins hitting 105 in the regular season. Bob Veal has the sign. Full count on the way to Jimmy. And Rollins bounces this one. Roller to second base. And Golovin, a close play there at first as Bill Mazeroski, a little bit of hesitation getting out of the glove. But to get Rollins for out number 2, here's Ed Delahanty. 1-1 pitch to Ed. Swung on. And this one popped third base side. Boom. And into the glove of Pie Trainer. All right. So the Phillies go 1-2-3. Bottom of the first. And it's the Pittsburgh Pirates. Honus Wagner. Again, we can look at Wagner. Forgot to turn this off, but there is Wagner. And I know it's hard to really see, but on the green screen, you'll see a 0 up there. So dynamic scoreboards now. A nice little touch. All right, and let's do a little bit of pitch-by-pitch action here. So you get a chance to look at the ballparks a little bit. All right, this one away with a changeup. Count 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the wind and the pitch to the Flying Dutchman. And Wagner looks at a screwball inside, doesn't even budge the bat. Good eye up there against legend versus legend. 2-0 pitch on the way. And Alexander missing. So this one, 3 straight. Waiting on deck is Jason Kendall. Alexander works behind 3-0. And Wagner's going to take the 4-pitch walk. So he's on board. And so again, look at Kendall. So Kendall's up here now. Pretty cool. And if you look closely over here, you'll see a runner on first. So if you have a bigger screen, that's easier to see. It's what a sweet touch this is. I love it. All right, let's go back to batter by batter mode. Wagner, incredible speed on at first. Here's the pitch. The runner doesn't go. And, bad throw over there by Mike Schmidt. Score that one, E5. Should have been at least get a fielder's choice, but instead it's 2-1, nobody out. So can the Pirates capitalize on the gift by Michael Jack Schmidt? Here is Paul Waner. Paul Waner hitting just 192 in the season with a home run, 4 runs batted in. Count full on Waner. Here's the pitch. Waner takes low. So the Pirates have him loaded up here in the top of the first inning, and it brings up Roberto Clemente. Clemente hitting 346 with a home run, 2 runs batted in. Wagner at third, Kendall at second, and Paul Waner at first. 1-0 pitch on the way. And this one popped up into foul territory, first base side, and Jack Clemens makes the catch. So 1 away, as old Pete's still in some trouble here and has to face Willie Stargell. 0-2 pitch. Stargell swings, and he's going to dump this one into right field, base hit, and 1 run will come around to score. And Stargell picking up the RBI single. The Pirates still have him loaded, and it is 1-0, bottom of the first. West side of the Commonwealth versus the east side. Here's Pie Traynor. Who can? American. And only a Pittsburgh Pirates fan will know what I mean by that. All right, Traynor not getting a lot of playing time for the Bucks this year, so just 1 for 8 with a home run, 3 runs batted in. 1-1 pitch, and Pie Traynor lines this one up the middle, base hit. That's going to be an RBI for Pie Traynor, and the Buccos get on the board early. Hard throw over to third, and Willie Stargell is safe. 2 RBI single for Pie Traynor, and the Buccos out to a 3-0 lead. All right, here's Bill Mazeroski. So Corey Highfield says, awesome, haven't purchased out of the park yet, but probably will do so this weekend. I hope you do, Corey. It's a lot of fun. And don't be afraid of it. Oh, this one hit hard to left field, back and gone. Bill Mazeroski repeating a little 1960 World Series action, and the Pirates with a commanding 6-0 lead by Maz. Oh my goodness. Again, guys, I got to apologize for the jank on the screen. Got to do better. I think I might go back to OBS Studio, actually. Let's have another look at that one again. Just because. So Mazeroski tattoos this one. There we go. 5 rows back. Touch them all, Maz. All right, bases empty. And here's Lloyd Waner making his first plate appearance. 1-0 pitch on the way to Little Poison. Waner swings, fly ball out to center field, gloving that one easily, is sliding Billy Hamilton. So 2 away, 6-0 lead. Here's Bob Veal. Bob Veal, 0 for 2 in the season. The left-hander swings and misses, and blessedly for the Phillies, the inning is over. But the Buccos, 6 runs would go to the top of the second. And we're just going to go ahead and you get a good idea of the game. So this, you can see here, this is filling up, and this will fill up all the way. And obviously you can change camera angles and stuff like that. So if you want. So let's look at the batter camera. Maybe we get a better view. Yeah, so you can see a little bit better what's going on. Right? So look, there's Jack Clemens. Jack Clemens up there. You can see his name, whole thing. So let's play this from here. All right. We'll actually leave it. We've got to fix that a little bit. Little tapper up the first base line. Paul Waner will take it to the bag himself. And let's do, I like that initial view, home plate. Let's keep it at, what is our home plate view here? Yeah, do we say home plate camera? Let's do pitch view for home plate camera as well. There we go. All right, here is Michael Jack Schmidt. Here's the pitch. And he sends this one out, sinking liner to right field. But Roberto Clemente, no trouble on his horse. 2 up, 2 down now. Brings up Bobby Abreu, hitting 222 in the season. And here's the pitch. Abreu looks at a called strike 3. So Philadelphia goes quietly again. We go to the top of the second. Now let's see what the action view will look like. It's probably going to be a little bit weird, but let's try it. Might have to do dynamic ball flight, which usually gives me the willies. But let's have some fun with it for a few minutes. Follow ball, yes. And blah, blah, blah. Let's just follow the ball. Dynamic zoom. Let's just to show you some features. We'll turn that one on, and let's return to the game. All right, here we go. There's Hannes Wagner. Nothing to follow there. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So another nice thing is this, again, it's not MLB The Show, but this is pretty damn beautiful. Truth Hurts Wilkie, or his owner said 2 weeks ago, we know what this would be a shutdown after the 2026 season. Rookies, owner Dodgers spending shows MLB needs salary cap. All right, Corey, good night. Thanks for coming up, man. Yeah, everybody's predicting the work stoppage. Blah. Nathaniel, thank you for that. I just don't like I'd like the Brewers if they were in another division. What would be really cool to add in this game would be sort of like, you know how like in replays, if you watch Legends playing MLB The Show and how he can adjust cameras for replays, I'd love to see that in Out of the Park Baseball. So hopefully at some point that will happen. All right, here's Jason Kendall, nothing for 1. And here is the pitch. And Kendall drilled by a pitch. So he will go down to first. All right, brings up Paul Wainer. Brings up Paul Wainer. 2-2 pitch on the way to Big Poison. And he swings. This one going to be a gapper out into left field. How about it? Here we go, Buccos. And coming around to score is going to be Jason Kendall. And it's 7-0 Pittsburgh. Alexander there grabbing the ball. How about it? So this is a slaughter so far. Here comes Roberto Clemente, nothing for 1. Clemente sends us out right field toward the wall, pulling it down, making the catch is Sliding Billy Hamilton. So I'm kind of liking this view the more I look at it. Here's Wilver Dornell Stargell, RBI single last time. This one bounced up the middle, base hit. The only thing is we do need to have dynamic action. Throw home! And Willie Stargell's picked up an RBI single as Paul Wainer scores. Let's go ahead and turn on, I think it's the dynamic cam, because we are losing a little bit of play here. Where the hell is it? Allow dynamic camera. Yes, let's allow dynamic camera. Okay, back to the game. When would the stadiums be available to download for Out of the Park 26? That is all on Mike Silva, I guess, when he gets those up to the workshop. Looking forward to those. I did download some Jazz Age ballparks, though, from another creator. They look really nice, 19th century and some dead ball era looking ballparks. All right, here's Pie Trainer. And Pie Trainer, high fly ball. And that was going to come down to the shortstop, Jimmy Rollins. So the Buccos pick up 2 more. We go to the top of the 3rd inning. 8-0 Pittsburgh Pirates. Chase Utley, Von Hayes, and looks like, oh my goodness gracious, we have a new, I didn't even see it happen. Hector Neris into pitch now. 1-2 pitch on the way to Utley, and he swings. Long fly ball out there left field. Camping under it is Willie Stargell, and he will make the catch. So 1 away. Yeah, I'm surprised I'm not getting motion sickness right now. There's Von Hayes. 1-2 pitch. Not trying to really call it, just have some fun. Bouncer to third, throw to first. Even the dynamic camera's better this year. Again, trust me, I know it looks jank over there, but it looks good. All right. And here's Hector Neris. He will bat for himself. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Bob Veal, pitching a good ball game here as we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It'll be Bill Mazeroski with a home run. Lloyd Wainer and Bob Veal. Neris ready to deal. Here is the pitch. Swung on, fly ball, left field, and making the catch is Ed Delahanty. All right, so 1 up, 1 down here now for Lloyd Wainer. Says Mazeroski. Here's Little Poison. And Wayner sends this one out center field. And making a nice little grab out there is Slide Billy Hamilton. So 2 up, 2 down now. For Bob Veal, who's nothing for 1-0 delivery on the way to Veal. Veal bouncer to third. And the throw over to first. And they got it by a country mile. So 3 up, 3 down go the Pittsburgh Pirates. We go to the top of the fourth. The Pirates 8 and the Phillies nothing. The Pirates scoring 6 in the first and 2 in the second. Sliding Billy Hamilton, Jimmy Rollins, and Ed Delahanty were at the top of the order for the Quakers. 2-1 pitch on the way. And this one, little popper out towards second. Mazeroski camps under it and gloves it for out number 1. Here's Jimmy Rollins. He has nothing for 1. 0-2 pitch on the way. Rollins, knee buckler there. And he will watch that one paint the outside corner. All right, here's Ed Delahanty. He is nothing for 1. It's St. Patrick's Day. Ed, what are you going to do? 1-2 pitch, or will be. He's going to strike out. So Bob Veal picking up his 4th K of the game. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 6-0 in this cross-Commonwealth rivalry. This game doesn't count, though. It's an exhibition. There's Honus Wagner now. And the Dutchman connects. Oh, this one a bouncer past second base. Good, hard ground ball there. Wagner couldn't have thrown that in a better spot. So 1 away now 1 on for Jason Kendall. Nobody out. And an 8-run Pirate lead. 1-2 pitch. And this one is going to get, let me see what they're going to call it. This hits off the shin guards. And it looks like they're going to call that one. Looks like a pass ball. Kendall swings. And hard hit ball out to left. Playing it on the hop out there. Long throw. And Jason Kendall comes all the way around. Or Jason Kendall with the RBI single. Wagner safe at home. Let's have a look at that play again. So playing it on that hop there, and Wagner just tearing around the bases. No way you're going to get to him. All right, so nice day here in PNC Park as Paul Wayner steps in. Wayner's 1 for 1. Buccos lead 9-0. And Wayner, they're going to go 3-6 to not 3. All right, so on with the fielder's choice is Paul Wayner, and here is Roberto Clemente. Clemente, hard shot up the middle, base hit for Clemente, and Paul Wayner will hold it second. So the Bucks with 2-1, 1 down here for Willie Stargell. Willie Stargell 2 for 2 with 2 RBI. 0-2 pitch. Stargell looks at a called strike 3 on the inside corner. That time, Nerys coming with just a little splitter there. 3-1 pitch now coming to Pi Traina. And Trainer, little 3 unassisted job over there. Von Hayes will take it to the bag himself. The Buccos tack on another on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left on. We go to the top left. Taking a big risk here is a no-hitter going. But we're going to go ahead and play the rest of this out because I'm running out of gas, gentlemen. Good. It wasn't a no-hitter, but the Pirates absolutely slaughter the Phillies in this exhibition. 10-1. 10 runs, 14 hits, no errors for the Pirates. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error for the Phillies. When you do exhibition games, it doesn't do recaps. So player of the game, Bob Veal. Let's see how he actually did. Bob Veal struck out 6, whereas Grover Cleveland Alexander only went 1 1/3 innings, so he picks up the loss. Not much to write home about there, baseball fans. No, there isn't. We did have a home run. Bill Mazeroski was that solo shot that you guys saw. So there you go. That is our quick look at Out of the Park 26. All right, guys, thank you for coming in. Hopefully tomorrow night, if the Lord willing, the creeks don't rise. We'll have a little baseball chin wag. We'll jump into a little bit more. I'm hoping Mike Silva will get the ballparks in, because that's I really miss them. Really, really miss them. So, all right. So, anyone calling to watch the Dodger Cub game Tuesday at 5 a.m.? Oh man, it's so tempting. Anyhow, gentlemen, thank you for coming in for this very quick look. It was 2 hours, a lot of talking. I do realize, but again, I think once the ballpark creator gets a little bit more love, be a lot of fun. I'm really liking what the game is doing. I recommend it. Definitely buy it. 9 stars out of 10. 9 stars out of 10. Knocking off a star because the ballpark randomizer just needs more work. All right. You're welcome, gents. And until the next time, see you around the batting cage, and hopefully we'll see some other guys giving us a first look and a deeper look. All right. See you around the batting cage, guys. And welcome again, Corey, newest member of the family.